This one happened. All right, this one right here. This was about the what we did. Yeah. What happens if we stay together and the next 2 weeks?
I don't know. I've been working So I'm working the same thing.
I think Chris knows. He said there's no committee that's supposed to look at it and determine what happens. Yeah. That's my question. Yeah, well, we're missing it. Yeah, that's good. Chris said that there's supposed to be a committee. He thinks a committee that has, he said we don't have a committee. I won't be on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I still never come back.
You know that, yeah.
I bet you're over it right now.
I know.
We don't have
Well, I tell you what,
You got a pen, Karen?
I'm not gonna break it up. I'm not gonna break it up. I'll just let it. Yeah.
Makes it look like you're cut.
Oh, yeah, I broke that up here. I remember that now. I can see it.
Back up.
You need it.
I will also send you, this is Eddie Jones. New York Prep. Yes. More and more orders. Other issue.
If y'all will, Mr. Wesley.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day of life and for another opportunity we have to gather together to make decisions for this county. Be with us as we make them and help us to be the right ones. Be with us always, help us do those things that are right, help us always be ready, help each other. I pray in Jesus' name.
Ms. George, you back?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We sure appreciate everybody being here. It's probably gonna be a little longer meeting than normal since we got the audit and all that to go over, so just have patience and we'll get to it as soon as we can. We got the minutes from the last month.
Motion to receive.
I got a motion.
Second.
You got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? To let it stand. Treasurer's report.
County general today's balance is $760,141.09. County road today's balance is $1,181,689. Total funds under my control, $6,280,400.82. We still have not received FEMA money. Sales tax for this month was $102,506.03, down from the prior year, $4,440.29. Sales tax for the year is $38,955.35. The jail bond tax was $75,405.64.
Got any questions on that?
Motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Assessor report. I think the assessor has quit us.
Judge, I was just wondering that same thing. Is there a reason why?
I don't have no idea. You'll have to talk to the assessor about that. That's her choice.
Well, it's not just the assessor.
Do what now?
It's not just the assessor.
Let's move on. If you got concerns about the assessor not being here, you probably need to call the assessor.
Motion to receive.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? OEM report. Bryce probably ain't here. He's had some issues. He's had a death in the family. He's got a lot of problems going on, but it's all right there in front of you if anybody wants to read it.
Motion to receive.
Second.
I got a motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? E911 report. I really don't know what her excuse is, but I'll figure it out. I promise you.
Motion to
You
receive.
got a motion?
Second.
Got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Grant report.
The only addition I need to make is that we've got our grant money in on the sheriff's. It's local law enforcement block grant, and it's for their flashlights and purchase of junk box, junk vehicles. We're working on that, and then the clerk is going to be applying for an automated grant for electronic filing. That's all the new information I have.
Motion to receive.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second, all in favor? Any opposed? I will move on to law enforcement report.
For the month of April, we took 118 reports, made 62 arrests, inmate bookings for the month. We booked 64 males, 19 females, total of 83. Current jail count was at 52 males, 6 females. Total Marion County inmates is at 58. The jail count includes 32 DOC inmates, 27 being males, 5 being females, and we have 5 309s. Sex offender status registration updates, we had 11. Total number in the county is at 70. Collections from the month of March, we had $18,609 in circuit, $26,632.47 in district. Service hours for required court bailiffs, we have 37.25. Total hours of transport services, we had 68 hours and 25 minutes. We had 40 new warrants totaling $141,432.15. The billings for the month, we billed DOC $32,932 for the ADC inmates. For inmates being held for flipping, we billed $250. And for the city of Bull Shoals, we billed $100. Is there any questions on our activity report for deputies, county deputies, Metro, for the detention center.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
This, on the counties, it says that there's 7 officers reporting.
Yes,
There's only 7 officers up there.
we have 7 officers, which one of them was in Aleta. So that would have been the 8th one, but he was in Aleta, so we didn't have nothing to report.
Okay, and just
And then
one
2 metros.
Okay, says 1 metro on here.
Right.
2 metro.
Right, but we had to move as far as scheduling and coverage. The 1 metro we had in Dade, in the county covering while the county officer was in
Gotcha,
Aleta.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Have we had any, funds received from Full Shoals or Flippin' yet?
That was as far as them sending us a check.
Yeah, get paid.
I don't know if we've received any yet. Not yet.
So do we expect them to, or?
All I can do is bill them.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I got a question on the collection for March, you showed 18,609 for circuit, 26,632 for district. I don't see victim restitution, and what is the outstanding amount?
On victim restitution,
Well, no, I'd like to see on circuit court, what's the outstanding amount of fines?
okay? So you need more of a breakdown, is what you're asking.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And same thing like district court.
Outstanding fine balance,
Yes, sir.
okay?
And victim restitution.
Okay.
And I got one other question. On restitution, I saw some of my reports. It was separated into PFS, or PFS, which the acronym pay for state. When someone pays restitution, is that money divided so that the victim gets a part of that?
Yes, yes.
And what is the amount?
I don't know what the difference, I don't know what, like, the total would be per victim. I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
I'm saying,
what it's in reference
if
to.
I paid $100 restitution, and the way I understand it, it's a way of getting the jail fees collected. I don't have a problem with restitution for the jail fees, but I would expect a share of that to go to victims' restitution and not.
Right, anytime we see restitution, then there's a breakdown of there's a portion of that goes to the victim.
Do you know how much outstanding restitution there is?
I do not at this point.
I understand there's been a letter sent to, I don't know what to call them, criminals, convicts, or whatever. But people make mistakes in their court orders. Is it possible to get a copy of that letter that was sent out? Or you are sending it out?
The letters that we send out showing that they have an outstanding balance,
Yes, sir.
which, I mean, to everybody that we've sent them
I
out
just
to?
want to see an example of the
The
letter.
body, okay,
Yes, sir.
okay.
And I got one other question. I looked at some of the reports, and some of the fines are pretty outdated, pretty old. If someone pays a fine, are they assessed the payment plan assessment that's supposed to be in place?
The,
Monthly fee.
right, yes,
So they get, if someone's 5 months behind, and they would get a $25 fee charge to that.
that's my understanding, yes, sir.
Thank
you. Okay. Any
Anyone
other
else?
questions?
Nope, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
All in favor? Any opposed? Library report?
Motion to receive.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Fire board report?
Motion to receive.
Second.
Got a motion?
I had a good rodeo this weekend.
They said it was good. I went to a fair board meeting last night and got home about 10 o'clock, and they're gonna take away the, I guess the reward money. They're just gonna give them a lump sum of money. It'd be like, they're gonna give the district fair like 45,000 for like a building fund. They're gonna try to get where they use it for anything they wanna do. And they're also gonna get 32,000 of the, or 30,000, something like that, of the, administration money they're giving out, the government's giving out now. whatever you want, the personal plan there. That's all I know about the fire board.
I thought I went to a fair board meeting up there, and now would be a good time to say it, I guess, that they're offering that arena and stuff up for rent. That wasn't the fair board that hosted that arena. That was, no, it was, Ridgeway Tractors, I think, was the sponsor and some others. But, anybody who wants to rent that arena can talk to the fair board, and they can have events like that. They can rent that from the fair board.
Anyone else? We got the road report. I don't even know where to start on it. We did call in and declare a disaster in Marion County. Right now, we up to, we think we got our 60,000 met. You gotta have $60,000 in damages, but I think we got way more than that. And they come up and spend all day Monday, and they're gonna come up tomorrow and spend all day to assess the damages, but they won't get it all assessed tomorrow, but that's what we're working on. So, anybody got any questions?
Motion.
Second.
Do what? Anybody got any questions on the road?
Motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
That's all in favor? Quorum report. Just about the same thing. Just, we started making fees. We're working on, Whitehall Road, working on Stetson's Road, working on Plantation Drive. Gonna re-chip and seal them. We've got them all ripped up now, but it got too wet, so it's all muddy. That's where we're at on that.
Motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Solid waste?
Motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Solid waste report, fire chief's report.
Should have it in your folder if you have any questions we haven't tried to answer. I thank Chief Mitchell for filling in for me for a couple of months there, and I've had some problems, health issues. But the thing I put together for you all on showing the county fire service that Chief Mitchell brought, I think back in February, it shows the fire service here in the county, all the men and women who volunteer and put in a lot of hours. You can see from April just how many calls that different departments have. We appreciate all the support that we get from the county on helping us, what we're trying to do. Anybody have any questions?
About a month ago, I was at one of your meetings,
Yes, sir.
and we talked, and there was a lot of conversation about poor communication through 911. Is that getting better?
I think it might be a little bit better, but I don't know really how to answer that. There is some improvement. There is some improvement. We're still having trouble with the radio system, but I don't have an answer for that. It may take a whole new system at some point.
Good.
I think dispatch is better. We're having some radio tests now. We appreciate that on radio testing.
I knew that started the radio test up
Yes.
for you.
We appreciate that.
Okay.
You know, our dispatchers is very respectful to y'all, and I just consider the same thing when y'all talking back to the dispatchers, show them the same respect they show y'all. Because I know there have been some disrespect. Here in the last
I know
month.
there has been some, but it's been few.
Yeah, but, you know,
Most departments.
no, I'm not claiming, I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm just saying, you know, if the dispatch makes one little mistake, we are talked about for hours and for weeks. But whenever they get disrespect, nobody knows about it. I just want to make that clear. That it goes both ways, respect us.
Right. I think most of our fire chiefs have talked to their members
Yeah.
about that. And we have had some issues I think those have been corrected though.
Yep, it's better.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
When I was looking at some of the documentation, you have a radio error report, a problem report.
Yes, we have started that.
I saw it, I don't know where I got it from, but it was part of your communications protocol. I'm just wondering, in your radio testing, if someone's having a problem, that should be a log of that, so that some people may not have a problem, but others might be just their radio. I would suggest that within the department start being used as communication. It might be a tower.
May I? My husband, Billy Joe, did go to Lakeway, Pine Mountain, and Peel, and worked on their radios, got their up and going in there, and we did find that some of those departments, they had bad radios. The radios were bad versus the system being bad. So he's still going around trying to fix the other radios and work on the other problems.
Appreciate it.
We are going to use that report though. I think we just brought it, 2 minutes ago? Just had brought it 2 minutes ago. Chief Mitchell brought that up, and we are going to use that now. Sure. So we will have records of that. Anything else?
And we appreciate the fire departments. Planning commission,
We don't have any new updates. It's just our next meeting is going to be Thursday, June 3rd at 6 o'clock over the Adams.
budget and personnel committee meeting.
We had our last meeting on April the 22nd, and the minutes are included with all the paperwork. The ordinances that we agreed to sponsor are in the packet, and we'll be voting on those tonight. No other meetings are planned at this time.
Law enforcement committee meeting. You have anything?
We didn't have one.
Solid waste
This time.
procedures and management committee.
That committee is still not met. So nothing has came out of it yet.
All right, any old business there? We got the ordinance here on the subdivision. Do we need to do it when we start doing the ordinances? You want to do it when we start doing the ordinances?
Yeah, we have to read the,
We start with new business. We're gonna go over,
we need the old business first.
we just got through doing it. Nobody had anything.
Yeah, we've got an ordinance we have to read for the second time.
That's what I asked you.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Let's read the second reading on the ordinance. Sorry about that, Ms. Don.
That's okay. This is ordinance 2129, being enacted by the Quorum Court of Marion County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending ordinance 1217 standards and regulations for the development and subdivision of land. The Marion County Planning Board suggests the following revisions to provide a clearer definition of a subdivision, a disclosure of private roads, and a reasonable timeframe for preliminary plat review. So following changes are provided. Article 1, amend Article 2, Chapter 2, definitions, Part 14, subdivision to read as follows. 14, subdivision. For the purpose of these regulations, a subdivision shall be defined as A division of a tract of land or parcel into 3 or more lots, any one of which is less than 5 acres, and all lots are intended to be developed for the individual unit of ownership. The division of tract of land or parcels into 3 or more lots of 5 acres or more, which are located on existing state or county roads, are not classified as a subdivision. The division of a tract of land or parcel of 2 or more lots of 10 acres or less, and all the lots are intended to be developed for individual unit ownership. For any subdivision, a formal plat shall be submitted to the county board, planning board. This plat will clearly show the location, size, right-of-way, width, easements of all new access roads and or streets to be dedicated when submitted to the county planning board. A letter shall also accompany that plat agreeing to build new access roads and or streets in accordance with Marion County roads and highway specifications. The formal plat need not be provided to the Marion County Planning Board if the division of a tract or land or parcel A does not meet the definition of a subdivision, and or B, when the new access interior roads and or streets are not dedicated classified as county roads. When new access, interior roads, and/or streets are not dedicated or classified as county roads, a declaration of private roads stating that it shall be recorded with each individual unit of ownership. The declaration of private roads cannot be rescinded, changed, or altered unless the new access, interior roads, and/or streets meet Marion County Road and Highway specifications and written approval of the county judges obtained. Article 2, amend Chapter 3, procedure for plat approval to read as follows. Section 3, preliminary plat approval procedure. 3, action by planning board. Within 60 days after submission, the planning board shall indicate its approval, disapproval, or conditional approval of the plat. The reasons for disapproval will be stated in writing. 3, create a declaration of private roads, and that was attached to the ordinance.
Motion, second.
We got a motion, got a second. Anybody need to talk about that one?
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden, Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm getting there.
Are we gonna go to big business now?
Yes.
We're gonna talk about the audit to start off with, but
Okay.
Sam, you wanna talk about the solid waste soup we got going on
Yes,
before we
Judge.
get started on the rest of it?
Judge, you were saying the update on the solid waste lawsuit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there was a hearing in Little Rock yesterday over the $2.4 million that was collected prior to the judge here enjoining collection of the money. What had happened in our hearings here in Yellville, the receiver said that he would hold certain money pending the orders of this court. And so Judge Laser said, that's fine, you can hold money, and Chris, remind me of the year, was it the 18 and 19 money?
No, 17, 18, 19.
It's all 3 years.
17 went to Little Rock.
And it was 18 and 19 that he said he'd hold. So the receiver goes to Little Rock, to the judge down there, and says, I've got $2.3 million for you. And so the lawyer for the plaintiffs, which includes all of us, had a hearing in Little Rock yesterday where the judge in Little Rock more or less said, you're probably not getting that money back unless the Supreme Court tells me to do so. So, correct, and Chris made a point. That, the prospective collection has been stopped. It's getting this money refunded to the taxpayers through the remaining 6 counties, because we have a portion of that, Carroll, Newton, Searcy, Boone, what have you. So I talked with him this afternoon. I talked with the lawyer for the plaintiffs this afternoon. He has 15 days to make a decision on how to proceed. I would assume that there's going to be a full trial in Little Rock sometime in the summer. And then based on what the judge said, he's going to have to appeal to the Supreme Court. So there's probably not going to be any money refunded at least a year. Something could change, but that's the story, that's the result I got from him yesterday. So hopefully by the next meeting, he'll know what he's going to do, and then I'll update you once he knows what he's going to do.
Appreciate your Slam.
Thank you.
Anybody else got any new business? I've got a couple of items here. Anybody else got anything new? We've had some issues across the lake, Pine Hollow Road. The last administration said it wasn't a county road, it's a county road. That county road number is MC 175. And we got that, had to write a letter to them to make sure that was 175. There's some people trying to get blocked out. But that road has never been closed. It's Pine Hollow Road, also known as County Road 175. We got that recorded in the courtroom. Also, I made a pledge when I run for county judge that, I'd make a county road, Thousand Oaks. The main road is also known as County Road 612 as of today. That's court order. I got that right here. If anybody wants to.
6012.
60012, also known as Thousand Oaks. The address will stay the same. It'll be Thousand Oaks, but it's good or better than any county road we got. And them people up there has got the same right to a good road as anybody else. Other than that, we're gonna move on to, the audit. If anybody's got any questions on that? I got wrote up last year or year before last, and I got wrote up again about the, assets, and I've been working on that very hard. All of us have. We've getting our inventory done. That's what I'm going to correct part of mine. But if anybody's got any questions, what they want to talk about the audit, I'm wide open. If anybody's got anything to say about the audit, here we are.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I noticed in the past, when we read the audits, it was like we just signed to the document to acknowledge we read them, but in reading the audit, it doesn't say that. It wants us to have the corrective action. I would like to direct this question to the sheriff. I've been looking at fines and fees and seeing the amount that's being collected. What's disturbing is I'm going back that people are paying fines dated 1995. And that really scares me because I don't want to say it this way, it seems to grow more people into the system so that the workload becomes bigger and the dollar amount that's set in there is just sitting there. And I'd like to know, what is the plan to do something with that system? Because I know in prior meetings we've had, the one person said they were just too busy. My response to that is, if you're too busy now, it isn't gonna get better, it's just gonna get worse. I'd like to see some kind of a plan to address that issue, because I'm looking at a lot of cases, not going back a year or two, going back years, and it's just, is the money being collected? And when you read the law, the state has imposed certain actions the sheriff can take to make them people pay. Some people can't, some people don't have the money. But I would like to see some kind of a plan. This is a major issue in Marion County. And what's bothering me the most, I'm looking at this amount and wondering how much in victim restitution is sitting there for the law-abiding person that has a problem. And now that, I don't even know if it's being collected, that's why I asked you. But I'd like to see some kind of a plan to fix this problem.
Okay.
That's what
That'd be something that, I think Chris and I would have to sit down and talk about. Once it's assessed by the courts and the fines and stuff are on the books, if they don't pay, then that generates the warrant. And it's just a revolving door, we can pick them up, we can't make them pay.
Well, then we should all have crimes in and not pay. That's what you're
I
saying.
can't force them to pay,
Well, I'm not an attorney, but we can revoke their driver's license.
which we do.
We can garnish, I'd like to see that on a report that we're doing that. We can garnish their state tax income refund if they have one. I know at the fire department, we threatened to seize the truck on the fella that didn't pay a non-member fee. His lawyer called me and said they never heard of anything like that. I said, if the phone company, electric company can do it, why can't the fire department? I would like to see some kind of a plan so that this is just money sitting there, but yet we're having to come up with other money to run the county. I think a lot of this money would sure go to helping the jail operation and law enforcement operation. I'd like to see a plan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else got anything they want to talk about that?
I do.
Nope, Rick White first.
On the not on the comp, on the report from the state, they refer to a law, the specific law. That's what Mike was talking about. the funds on that are county funds. And you're supposed to turn the county funds in on the 1st, and they give you a 10-day period. This year, January was turned in March 23rd and so forth. I checked January, February, and March last year against January, February, and March this year, and looks like a lot more slippage. That's county funds. It has nothing to do with people that have paid or gonna pay or will pay. It has to do with the funds you've collected. The question is, that should be part of what Mike is talking about. How are we gonna correct that? We need to get those funds in a timely manner on the time we're supposed to. And the date that they say is the 1st of every month. And they say no later than 10 days, but the 1st is when they're due, not a month and a half, 2 months later.
A lot of that's contributed to the amount of manpower we have now. And we have made steps, I think, to correct that. We have, Ms. Vickers has donated her time to help in our bookkeeping to help speed that process up. We can get that in a timely manner. My administrative assistant, the jail administrator, she's pulling double duties, and that's one of her main duties, besides pulling that extra duty in the jail, is to make sure that the paperwork's done and submitted at the appropriate times.
To make sure we're talking the same way. Last year, the first 3 months of last year, you were average about 3 to 4 days late. This year, you're running anywhere from a month to 2 weeks late. As of this morning, which today was your deadline for today, as of now, we still don't have April. We don't. These funds are one of the ways we make money. We put it in an account, interest-bearing account, and if you keep it 30 days, we lose that money. So we need to look into it and do something one way or the other.
For the majority of the day today, so we're diligently working on it on the time we have to do so.
Okay.
Anybody else got, Ms. Claudia?
The
I'm
reason
sorry.
I wanted this got brought up is because the findings of the audit team were the same problems we had last year. And the judge has said that he's working on what he got deemed for. And I remember asking you last year about the commissary account, if you had something in place, and you said you did, but yet we got dinged again. So I'm just, it goes along the same lines of what Mike Justice Grimm is asking. I would just like to know what you've got in place so we don't get dinged
On the
again.
commissary issue, as of yesterday, I had Sam draft a letter and sent to our vendor that takes care of our commissary, which is Stellar. They're located in Wisconsin. To my knowledge, we are the only one in Arkansas that utilize Stellar for that service. We've had some accounting issues with them that we can't get straight. That is one of the 3 issues that Sam had contained in the letter that was sent out certified yesterday. Once my 90 days is up with that, then I'm gonna be seeking a different vendor in state.
I just don't want to get dinged for the same thing.
I understand, and I don't want to either.
Anybody else got anything on the audit report? I got some more stuff on new business. I'm gonna flip flop, y'all don't care. We met with the apprentice today, and I know a lot of people ain't gonna like this, but it's just where it's gonna be. We're gonna go with electronic timesheets here for long. We're gonna put that in place for about a month or 2, make sure it's working proper. After that, we're gonna go to electronic time clocks. And we're gonna implement that per office. We're gonna do 1 office at a time until we get running good. And after we get all that done, after everybody turns their time in, all that the comptroller will have to do is push a button and the check will print. But we're gonna take 1 step further. We're gonna try to go all direct deposit. We're gonna try to get away from the paper system. And I'm also gonna ask the Quorum Court to swap banks, the bank we're doing. Very unpleased with them. We got people that quits and they won't take them off the sign-in book to sign our credit cards until we go to Quorum Court and get them took off. I'm asking the Quorum Court to swap banks. we've had a lot of issues with that bank and I'm tired of it. But, you know, that's up to the Quorum Court. Go ahead, Ms. Carla. Did you raise your
Well,
hand?
I think this, I'm sorry, I think this would be directed, or I'm not sure who it's directed to. You said Susie would push a button, so you're gonna be printing paychecks now? Or is that still something in the works?
Well, that's just what Prentice said, what you could happen. You can just push a button in the time with Prentice. I don't care who pushes the button. You can walk in there and push the button, or she can push the button, or whoever pushes the
Oh, I was
button.
thinking options, it just
Yeah.
popped in my head.
Yeah, I mean, that, they didn't tell me who was gonna push the button, but that's what they said. You just be able to push a button at the time to spit it out. But, you know, it doesn't matter to me. We're also gonna go with a program, if the Quorum Court approves it, called Beagle. And every report, like the sheriff has 100 employees, or I have 50 employees or whatever, everything we do will be logged. And if we want to report on anything, all you gotta do is push a button and it goes out and it'll be printed out, that report. If you want comp time, sick time, whatever you want, it'll be automatically push a button. And if somebody wants to push the button to get it, they're welcome to come push it. I don't care. But that's where we're at.
Excuse me, Mr.
Anybody?
You're saying in regarding labor, what you're.
Yeah, it'll just be, you know, this is 2021. It's not
Yeah.
the 1800. We're trying to get automated. I mean, we got money sitting there that we are still doing things with a pencil and paper, and we got thousands of dollars sitting there that all we got to do is put it on the computer. But they don't want to do it because, you know, that just eliminates, I don't know. But that's where we're at. Anybody got any questions on that?
I do.
Oh, I'm
How do
sorry.
you do your data migration on that?
Do I
Are
now?
you gonna have somebody put the data in? Because usually when you do a database migration, you have it from one database to another.
The good thing about this program, and the thing is, we got, the apprentice said they would do all of our training. They would help us do everything we wanted to do. It don't cost us a dime for all that. But, you know, we got people sitting around not doing anything, you know, a lot of times, and they be putting that in, while they're sitting around smoking or walking across the street smoking. But we'll get that took care of.
So, respond to you, one of the issues in creating a database is that initial input effort sometimes takes a lot of work.
I was in electronic discovery,
Oh, yeah.
that's my concern
Oh, yeah.
is with that. because
Once
I
you
know
get it in
about
there, it's in there, and
database
that's
Yeah,
it.
migration.
We
Yes.
may have to contract some people out to do it or whatever, you know, but, you know, we need to get the program and get the county up
It's a great
to,
idea.
yeah. Get the county up to speed. I think that, you got anything you want to add to that, Suzanne? Besides the smoking?
Maybe just clarifying the Beagle program.
All right, go ahead.
That is actually a research and analysis program where I can go in and I can set parameters for any reports, particularly the Quorum Court would like to have. And with the push of a button, and once I set those parameters, it will come back with the reports according to exactly what you requested, rather than me having to manually compile everything.
Anybody else got anything on the audit or new business? I'm ready to move on.
This is going to be ordinance 2021-31. Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Marion County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending ordinance 21-4, budget and numbers and compensation to allow the Marion County Clerk's Office to hire 2 full-time employees during the hiring freeze to replace 2 employees who are retiring, and to amend the numbers and comp portion of said ordinance. Article 1, whereas there is a need for the Marion County Clerk's Office to be allowed to hire during the current hiring freeze, therefore the Marion County Quorum Court allows the Marion County Clerk's Office to hire 2 full-time employees paid out of the Recorder's Fund to replace 2 employees who are retiring as of June 30th, 2021. Article 2, the hiring freeze for the positions of the County Clerk's Office is lifted. Article 3, amend numbers and comp as follows. As read, the county and circuit clerk, county clerk, elected official, 13 pay period, $16.50 bi-weekly, $21,450. Payroll clerk, HRA, full-time, $16.50, $34,320. Chief deputy, full-time, $17.25, $35,880. Deputy, full-time, $16.45, $34,216. Deputy, full-time, $14.60, $30,360. Elections deputy seasonal, 112 hours per election, $11 an hour, $1,232. As amended, elected official, 13 pay periods, $16.50 biweekly, $21,450. Deputy full-time, $14.60, $30,368. Election deputy seasonal, 112 hours per election, $11, $12.32. As reads, Recorder's Fund, Clerk's Recorder's Fund, County Clerk, 13 pay periods, $13.50. As amended, elected official, 13 pay periods, $16.50 biweekly, $21,450. Chief deputy full-time, $17.25, $35,880. Deputy full-time, $16.45, $34,216. Deputy, two full-times, $11.50, $29,440. Note, the chief deputy is at $17.25 per hour, and the deputy at $16.45 per hour will be eliminated after the July 15th pay period. Article 4, this ordinance here is an active appropriation ordinance and therefore is effective immediately.
Motion to adopt.
You got a motion?
Second.
You got a second? Anybody need to talk about that one?
I got a question. The new employees are gonna be out of the recorder's fund
Yes,
for how long? Will that,
that's where they're always paid from.
they're always paying, okay, that answers my question.
Yes,
Thank you.
at least in my administration, that's where they'll be paid from. Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
No.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrima.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 2132, being enacted by the Quorum Court of May, County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, the appropriation ordinance to transfer Treasurer's Commission from Fund 6,000 to the expenses of the Treasurer's Office for the year 2020. This ordinance will transfer the money in the amount of $163,378.43 to the various funds entitled to the reimbursement. This ordinance is here, it is acted as an appropriation ordinance, and therefore it is effective immediately.
Motion to receive.
Second.
You got a motion, a second. Anybody need to talk about that one?
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 2133, being enacted by the Quorum Court of Marion County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to correct Fund 6009, County Law Library, ACA, to Fund 3035, County Administration of Justice Law Library, under the administration of the Justice Fund pursuant to Act 788 of 1997. Article 1, correct Fund 6009 to Fund 3035, Administration of Justice 6010, 8903, Income Clerk's Office $1,755.48, District Court $4,020.01, total $5,775.49. Disbursements $3025-7404, Victim Witness Coordinator $4,216.12, 73%. For the Prosecuting Attorney Fund and the Prosecuting Attorney's Victim Witness Fund, $3035-7404. County Administration of Justice Law Library, $115.51, 2%. 3016-7404, breathalyzer, $288.77, 5%. 3024-7404, Public Defender, $1,155.09, 20%, for a total of $5,775.49, 100%. Article 2, the treasurer will need to transfer $1,617.14 from Fund 6009 to Fund 3035 to clear up and make all monies correct. This ordinance here and is acted as an appropriation ordinance and therefore is effective immediately.
Motion to adopt.
You got a motion?
Second.
You got a second? Anybody that talk about this?
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrimmon,
Yeah.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 2134. Being enacted by the Quorum Court of Marion County, Arkansas, on ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to amend ordinance 2018-4, the Marion County Personnel Policy. Article 1, amend section 25 to include 25A to read as follows. 25A, children in the workplace policy. For the purpose of this policy, child or children means a person or persons who are less than 18 years of age. Children are not to be brought to the workplace on a regular basis in lieu of child care. Employees must notify their supervisor or elected official, who in turn must inform the county judge of the circumstances requiring the child or children to be in the workplace. The county judge will then determine if the child or children will be allowed to be in the workplace. Any employee who violates this policy may be subject to disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment. Article 2, the portion of the personnel policy dealing with the use of county vehicle will be amended as follows. No vehicle owned by Marion County shall be used to transport a non-Marion County employee for a non-Marion County government benefit for a non-emergency event. This does not prohibit transportation for law enforcement purposes, for the day-to-day operation of the sheriff's office, and any other purpose. Violation of this policy shall be handled per the disciplinary procedure set forth in the current policy. Article 3, emergency clause. This ordinance is needed to necessitate a safe workplace and environment for the employees and citizens of Marion County. Therefore, an emergency is hereby declared, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect upon passage.
Motion to adopt.
You got a motion?
Second.
You got a second? Anybody need to talk about this one?
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrimmon,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. You'll have to excuse me for just a second. Okay. 2135, being enacted by the Quorum Court of Marion County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to refund property taxes for 2019 collected in error. Article 1, a refund shall be issued to Wells Fargo Real Estate Tax Service, 1401 Wiseman, San Antonio, Texas, 78251 by the Marion County Treasurer. Flip and rule, $920.92 subtract. City of Gulf Shoals, $88.55 subtract. Bull Shoals City Streets, $37.95 subtract. Bull Shoals Fire, $37.95 subtract. County General, $126.50 subtract. County Library, $22.77 subtract. County Road Split, $37.95 subtract. Other taxes, $18 subtract. Total of $1,290.59. This ordinance is here enacted as appropriation ordinance and therefore is effective immediately.
Motion. Second.
You got a motion, second? I'd like to know, what's going on here. I can't figure out why we make all these mistakes every month. We're doing ordinances. Is Kathy, can she get some answers on this, reckon?
Are you talking to me?
I thought anybody wants to answer it.
Oh, I don't know anything about it.
That's the reason elected officials need to be here to answer their ordinances when they come in. Anybody else got anything they want to say on this ordinance?
That would have been the collector, am I wrong?
Yeah, that's a collector.
No, I agree with you, Judge, because it seems like we are doing.
We do one.
Mr. Chairman, I think if we have something we're gonna address, that individual, that elected official should be invited to attend.
Motion to table it till next month?
Second.
I got a motion to table it to next month, and I got a second.
Hang on.
All in favor?
Wait. You gotta
Any
get me-
opposed?
Wait.
Looks like it's gonna be tabled for next month. You know, I'm not trying to be horsey about this, but every month we got thousands and thousands of dollars. That's just mistake after mistake after mistake. I don't know if we need to get the Excel program or what we need to get, but we need to do something to get this stopped. I think our last month's bill for the paper was $500 for ordinances that we wrote. You know, that would buy a program after a couple of months. That's just my personal opinion. If anybody's got any comment, they want to comment on that, they're welcome to.
In retrospect, what you're saying, you're correct. When we did the budget, we're correcting, I don't know how many hours Justice Town was spending trying to add up the figures, and this year, if they don't have to correct all the amount, then we just return it back to the elected official. Because like you said, there are a lot of transfers that take place, no one sees them, but it doesn't require a lot of work within your department.
Yeah, we're not doing no transfers now. You know, it's up, no court orders. We're doing all ordinances where everybody knows what's going on, you know, unless it's something real simple that, you know, that it's not that important.
2136, being enacted in the Quorum Court of Marion County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance that will transfer postage monies back to the collector. Article 1, whereas the clerk, jury, election commission, assessor, equalization board, child support, and the Quorum Court have used the postage meter that is maintained by the county collector's office for their postage. Therefore, a report has been taken from the meter January 1, 2021 through March 31st, 2021, showing what has been used by each department and how now to be reimbursed to the county collector's office. Therefore, be it ordered that the comptroller transfer the below said line item amounts from the following: county and circuit clerk, 2001, 3032, 3021, county collector, 3021, $225.76 $276, I'm sorry. Election commission to the county collector, $106.76. Assessor's office to the county collector, $475.57. Child support, $29.54. Quorum court, $42.55. Be it further ordered that the clerk of the court record this order in the proper journals for the Marion County, Arkansas. Article 2, this ordinance here and enacted as an appropriation ordinance and therefore is effective immediately.
Motion to adopt.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? Anybody need to talk about this one?
I just have a question, Judge. Are we gonna be getting one of these reports quarterly?
What's that?
Yes.
I asked if we were gonna be getting a report like this quarterly to provide us postage.
Yes.
John, the judge called.
Huh?
I'm asking the judge.
I didn't understand what.
Are we going to be getting this report every quarter?
If y'all want it every quarter, we can.
So they'll be dividing that. Okay, thanks.
Anybody else got anything they want to talk about this one?
Justice Madden? Justice Shipman?
Yes.
Justice Brigham?
Yes.
Justice McCullough?
Yes.
Justice Scrimmah?
Yes.
Justice Nichols?
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren?
Yes.
Justice White?
Yes.
Justice Underwood?
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 2137, being enacted by the Quorum Court of Marion County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending 2016-12, requiring Marion County vehicles and heavy equipment to display emblems and asset numbers, identifying them as Marion County vehicles and for other purposes. Article 1, vehicles including heavy equipment owned by any department of Marion County government shall display permanently affixed vinyl emblems as property of Marion County, Arkansas. Article 2, in addition to the permanently affixed emblems as required in Article 1, the department name to which the vehicle is assigned shall be permanently affixed below the emblem. Said department lettering shall be at least 2 inches in height. Article 3, such vinyl emblems and department names are required, as required in Articles 1 and 2, shall be permanently affixed to the driver's door and the passenger's door of the vehicle or heavy equipment doors or body. Article 4, vehicles including heavy equipment not owned by Marion County but on a lease purchase contract, the emblem and department names shall be made of magnetic material and be affixed to the vehicles or heavy equipment as stated in Articles 1 and 2. Article 5, this ordinance shall apply to vehicles owned by Marion County government with the exception of any vehicle that may be used in an official undercover law enforcement capacity. This includes any unmarked vehicle used for the law enforcement purposes by the Marion County Sheriff's Department. Article 6, further, all Marion County government property shall have the asset number assigned and also permanently affixed to said property. The asset number shall be at least 2 inches in height. For vehicles as stated in Article 1, the asset number shall be permanently affixed to the side of the front fender just below the windshield. For heavy equipment as stated in Article 1, the asset number shall be placed in a visible location somewhere on the front side of the equipment. Further, the asset inventory report shall include the identification number of the employee to which the property is assigned. For clarification, if an employee is allowed to take the vehicle or equipment home when they are the assigned users of the vehicle or equipment. Otherwise, the vehicle or equipment is assigned to the department. Asset numbers shall be assigned to the Marion County Judge's Office. Each elected official shall keep an up-to-date inventory of said property for each department that it is in charge of. Each elected official shall inform the Marion County Judge's Office of any changes to their assigned inventory. The Marion County Judge shall give the Marion County Quorum Court a monthly report of any changes to the county asset inventory. Article 7, where such emblems, department lettering, and asset numbers shall be white or black in coloring. White emblems, department lettering, and asset numbers shall be used for the dark colored vehicles or equipment. Black emblems, department lettering, and asset numbers shall be used for light colored vehicles or equipment. Article 8, whereas this ordinance is considered an emergency ordinance for the health and welfare of the people of Marion County, and goes into effect immediately.
You got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? Anybody need to talk about this one? We don't stick our stickers on the side of our truck. We put them on the glass where we won't mess the paint up on all of our equipment.
That's fine.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. 2138, be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Marion County, of the County of Marion, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance that will allow Marion County to enter into an agreement to purchase and equip 3 Dodge trucks for law enforcement. Article 1, Marion County will be purchasing 3 Dodge Ram 1500 crew cab 4x4 trucks with application of graphics and installation of light sirens and other necessary equipment for a total cost of $92,877. The transfer of the following funds from Fund Number 1005 will be as follows. From 1005 Coronavirus Relief Fund, 1005 Corona Relief Fund, $92,877 subtract. Distribute as follows: 1,800, 400, 4005. Vehicles, $1,779,119 add. 404, 400, 4,004. Machinery and equipment, $12,039 add. 400, 3,100. Other miscellaneous services, 1,719 add. Article 2, whereas the ordinance here enacted as an appropriation act ordinance and therefore is effective immediately.
Motion.
You got a motion? You got a second? Anybody need to talk about this?
I'm sorry, who is the second?
Mr. James.
I'd just like to say that this did go through the budget committee and we did support it at our meeting.
With the understanding that the sheriff would come up with a plan on how he will be able to buy new vehicles next year.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want the court to know that I'm 100% for this, but what I'm for, I'm not gonna vote on it, but I'm for the vehicles. I think we need some, and I think we need to get a good start on some good vehicles, and that's just my personal opinion. But anybody else got anything they want to comment on this? Go ahead,
I said you make the payments cheaper than you work on.
Mr. Mack.
I can't speak for everyone. We know they use vehicles, but what's concerning, if you go back prior year's budget, you see that repairs and tires, it doesn't really increase with the additional equipment. And then we're told if we don't get the money, we can't drive the trucks. I'm like Justice Brigham, that we need to start seeing a plan so that if we're gonna increase the vehicles, then you're gonna have to increase the repairs in that, and that should reflect the budget. So
Yeah, you know, I'll just, go ahead, Mr. James.
I was just gonna make a statement to be in dispute, kind of counter that if you put a new vehicle in place, you're not gonna have the maintenance cost you would an older vehicle. So you're gonna kind of have a break even there. So you're gonna have an advantage. Is my,
You got to start somewhere to get the rotation going. You know, we got a couple of new trucks, we get a couple more new trucks, whatever, then we get them in a rotation and, you know, start going like, that's just my opinion, but if anybody else got anything, they don't need to talk on that, they're welcome to it. Go ahead, Mr. Tyler.
There's only 8 deputies working right now. How many vehicles do you have that are operable right now?
Well, we've got one assigned per deputy. This last 2 weeks, we have taken, in preparation of a sale, we have, I think we have 8 or 9 vehicles we have fully stripped now. But,
Okay, so you have, right now you have enough vehicles for the deputies that you have working now, today?
Yes.
Well, my only concern is, and I know you've gotten hit a couple times tonight, I feel like. You mentioned at the budget committee that you were working on a plan, I think it was from Commissary.
Yes.
To pay for the vehicles, to purchase new vehicles in the future. I guess I'm 100% want you to have nice running vehicles, and if these are the ones that you believe that you need, I'm supporting you. I would just really like to see the plan, because I know that in the past we've had, financial problems, and I know that the inmates are helping us a lot, but, I would really like to see the plan to be able to keep the new vehicles financed in the future sooner than later. You know what I mean?
My plans are, I'll be out of pocket for June's Quorum Court meeting, but in July, I was going to prepare an ordinance for a funding line to take monies out of commissary monthly to build in that account.
And I also just don't forget that the law enforcement committee and budget committee can help you with that, too. I'm not on them, so I'm speaking for them.
Yeah, they kicked you off. Anybody else got anything they want to talk about on this? All right.
Justice Brigham?
Yes.
Hang on, I lost the place. Justice McCullough?
Yes.
Justice Scrimmett?
yes.
Justice Nichols?
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren?
Yes.
Justice White?
Yes.
Justice Underwood?
yes.
Justice Madden?
Yes.
Justice Shipman?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is there any of them, there was none of them more trying to trade them in?
This is already over with. Yeah, you meet him outside and talk about that.
Okay. Ordinance 2139, be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Marion County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending ordinance 21-4 by budget numbers and compensation to move monies in order to pay out compensation time that has been earned. Article 1, 1,102, 1,001 full-time, $584 subtract, 1,102, 1,005 overtime, $484 add. Article 2, this ordinance herein be enacted as an appropriation ordinance and therefore is effective immediately.
Get any interest in this? If not, we're gonna move on. Mr. James, give a motion. Got a second, Mr. Wesley. Anybody want to talk about this?
I do.
I'll go ahead.
I'd like to know why we are not following the personnel manual that we passed. Because it specifically says that you had to use your comp time before December 31st, unless there's an emergency, and I guess we'll call our emergency, then it must be used before March 31st. This time, because I asked, was accrued in 2020, and it's now May, so that is after the March 31st. And I held the sheriff to a certain standard based on the personnel manual, so I'm holding the clerk to that same standard.
Anybody else got anything they want to say?
I'd like to know what the law is about this. Like, I know that state law supersedes our policy, but I'm kind of concerned on like holding time over from last year, like labor law was. If that was accrued in 2020 and now we're 4 months into 2021 and they still are holding on to it or they're paid, I just want to make sure that we're doing this legally, whatever we do.
I've got a serious issue with this. I've got every timesheet right here. Every timesheet that this pertains to. I've sent an email out and asked for the timesheet, and I went back and there was absolutely no comp time on none of these timesheets. And one day there was 16 added to it. I've got the HR copy and I've got your copy that you sent email. I've got double timesheets. Every one of them is different. I've got timesheets from HR department that's come out of the file that you signed on. The employee signed on. Then all of a sudden, we give 20 hours comp time, and there's nowhere on these timesheets you worked that 20 hours. Nowhere. Then the next pay period, there was 22 hours added or more. Then when I asked for the timesheets, I didn't get the copies out of HR. I don't know where these copies come from, but there's none of them the same. That's the kind of business we run in Marion County. We got double timesheets right here. If y'all want to pass that, you pass it. But right here's the timesheets, and I'll show them to you.
I sent the timesheets to all of the.
They don't even match what's in the HR department. And if you can explain that, now I've got some here that says Christmas holidays paid. Then down here at the bottom in July, we're paying another 8 hours for Christmas. I'm telling you, we're getting into a bad subject.
Okay. That's a different article altogether. But the comp
I
time.
can prove the comp time. Anybody wants to see it, be more than glad to go to the press.
The comp time.
I am going to the attorneys with it.
May I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
The comp time was earned during early voting for the 2020 general election.
It's not on none of these timesheets until I asked for the timesheet and you sent it out of somebody's office. It didn't come out of HR.
No, it came, those copies were from the.
We're acting like truck drivers. We're not truck drivers. We're working for Marion County for the taxpayers of Marion County. Now, we're not running a double log. We're running timesheets. We're doing what's right for the county. That's where we're going to electronic timesheets. But you can go ahead and answer. You defend yourself. I mean, I'm good.
Well, she earned that time during the general election. Okay? And those timesheets that you have that came from my office.
Yes, ma'am.
Are her copies.
Your copies don't match my copies.
Well, she made notes on hers. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. The amount of time on each timesheet is exactly the same, is it not?
No, ma'am.
The bottom line.
No, ma'am. It starts down through there. It's got 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours off on the weekend, 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours, add 16 hours comp time. And best I remember.
And on her copy, I believe she wrote down the days that she worked the overtime.
If the auditors come in, are they going to her house and get her copies? Or are they going down here to HR in the files and getting her copy?
I'll be happy to supply them with both.
Okay. Yeah. We do what we need to do, but I'm telling you right now, that's where we're going to time clocks and electronic timesheets. But y'all can vote on however y'all feel y'all's confidence goes and go from there.
Can I have a question for either Chris or Sam? But before I make a decision on this, I really want to make sure that we're doing what Arkansas law requires us to do.
With regard to comp time, our policy that we have was developed
with Rainwater's folks and how we pay for comp. A person always gets a little concerned when we're paying out something the year before, because that's always something that can be problematic. Generally, a person has to use their comp time as a matter of federal law within 26 pay periods. There are exceptions to that. And I don't have a great command of those exceptions, but the general rule is they've got to use that time within 26 pay periods. So in its barest form, if the group goes forward, we're certainly, unless I'm just not good on these exceptions, but as a general rule, we'd be okay. However, there are issues and such that the court has discussed that probably warrant further discussion going forward, would be my thought. Justice Brigham brings up a point with regard to our policy and how we want that time to be paid, because as I remember from the personnel policy, the personnel committee's work, we didn't want big amounts of comp time to accrue. We wanted it used promptly. I remember that being the spirit of the discussion.
I took an oath to do what's right for Marion County. I'm not here to keep somebody's feelings getting hurt. I'm here to do what's right. There's an election coming up in 18 months. You can vote me out, whatever you want to do, but as long as I'm sitting in this chair, I'm gonna hold everybody accountable. And if it's not right, I promise you, I'm gonna break it out. Yes, sir.
Let me say one more thing. Chris reminded me of a point that I had intended to get to. We have to have a set of records to go by. And when it gets right down to it, when we're audited, we're gonna go to the comptroller's office and say, show us your records. When it gets right down to it. And so what the comptroller has, I would think, would be where we would be. And the comptroller's records would be the one that would control.
You know, I had them come to my office and they was on me about my comp time. And I'm having an answer for that. I've got it all wrote down here. I can answer for every hour they worked. The snowstorm, the quarry guy spread salt. That's how he got all this comp time. The equipment operator got that was in February, the 15th through the 19th. And they got 15 or 16 hours. And the washout, I mean, we ain't had time to take ours off, but he's got 58 hours. But I'm gonna make him take that off. And my other guy's got 42. So I'm just trying to, you know, I've got it all answered. As far as paying out on these timesheets right here, these timesheets was paid out of 1,000 county general. They was paid out 3,600 recording. They was paid out 3012 child support. None of them is just paid out of one account. I mean, we're all paid out everything, but I'm telling you, as county judge, I'm holding everybody accountable. Y'all can run me off, whatever you need to do.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
The reason it's paid out of those different accounts is because that's where they got paid out of.
Yeah, I know that. I know where they got paid out of. I said it.
Okay.
I mean, you
But you
said
made it
that.
sound like it was in different accounts, but it is. I mean,
We
I
got,
have two deputies get paid out of the recorder's fund. I had at the time one deputy get paid out of the county general fund, and the other deputy was paid out of child support fees.
this same deputy was paid out of county general, recording, and child support. It's on the timesheets. It's right here in the top
Not the
hand
same
corner.
deputy, no.
It says the clerk's office pay 1,000-102, 1,000. This one here is 3006, 3006. We can go down the list.
Oh,
of
no,
what they say.
I'm sorry, I take that back. During the time, I did have her paid out of 3006 because we were running out of money out of county general.
I call a question. Let's just move on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mike.
We seem to have a consistency. The personnel manual is very clear of comp time not to exceed 40 hours and to be paid or settled by November 1st. And it doesn't say 40 hours, and yet all of a sudden, like the comment came about the records, if we're audited, they're gonna go to whoever's got the timesheets and the payroll, and that's gonna be that lady over there. And if there's other records, it should be consistent. It should be able to be trackable to running time. For some reason, I can't explain it, but we've had several meetings this year where the timesheets are just ignored, or the policy is being ignored.
Go ahead, Ms. Claudia.
A couple of things. And what Mr. Pacings was saying, I was in on revising this personnel manual, as were you on. So when I saw the email asking for, I knew right away that we had a policy that said by March 31st. I remember. I'm old and I'm forgetting things, but I remember that.
The personnel policy is an ordinance.
It is, okay, it's the law. The second comment is, why aren't we following this ordinance? And the third comment is, the sheriff graciously corrected the mistake, error, whatever you wanna call it. And I appreciate that when it's brought to his attention. And I don't know why the elected officials can't follow the law.
The comp time is a very hard law to follow in the sheriff's position and in my position. I mean, because we might get 40 hours in 2 or 3 days. I mean, it's just hard to keep it. I mean, I try to keep mine below 40, but it's hard. Mostly if you have
I'm talking
storms.
about the extra 32 hours.
Yeah, I don't know about
It doesn't
that.
matter. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Anybody else got anything else on this? Go ahead, Rick.
What Sam was saying about the laws, and I say what everybody else says, I'm not a lawyer, but reading federal law and the state law and our manual, we're all saying basically the same thing. 40 hours. Because one of the reasons is we don't want to pay overtime for 200 hours. It closes out at the end of the year. The only way you can carry it over is if there's an emergency. For some reason, some of the funds got carried over this year. I guess coronavirus you could say that. But it's still got to be paid out by the end of March, and you can't collect more than 40 hours. So as far as laws goes, ours is almost identical to what the law says. So that's it.
Go ahead, Ms. Sue.
I have only been involved in one Department of Labor wage audit in my tenure here. And Sam, they never came to my office to look at records. I was prepared. I was told to prepare for that. They never came to my office. They went to the elected officials' records directly. I'd love to have clarification on that going forward.
I don't care where they go to. I do not care if they go up to the Dollar General store, but the timesheets need to match. I don't care where they go. That's where I stand. I don't care if they go to the Dollar General store or down here at Razorback Ribs. If they're not the same, we got something going on. And I'm not the sheriff. I'm just a county judge, but I'm calling our hand on it. We got a second. We got a motion.
Okay. Justice McCullough?
No.
Justice Scrima?
No.
Justice Nichols?
No.
Justice Van Kuren?
No.
Justice White?
No.
Justice Underwood?
No.
Justice Madden?
No.
Justice Shipman?
No.
Justice Brigham?
No.
Thank you. Okay, ordinance 2140. Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Marion County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to amend the annual operating budget and numbers of compensation ordinance 21-4 for the calendar year 2021 for Marion County, Arkansas. Whereas 2 road department equipment purchases were made in April 2021 using incorrect line items, one for the Bushwhacker SN 20 MD 1442025250002 for $10,500 and another for a rock breaker SN 5909248 for $18,466.88. The following corrections are necessary to reflect current asset management policy. Article 1, transfer the road department appropriation as follows. 2002 small equipment, $28,966.88. Add 2,200 4,004 machinery and equipment, 10,500 subtract, $18,466.88 subtract. Article 3, this ordinance herein is enacted as appropriation ordinance and therefore is effective immediately.
Motion to adopt.
You got a motion?
Second.
Yeah,
I got
second.
the second. Any discussion?
Anybody want to talk about this? What we done, we had this money in small equipment. And to meet the auditors, we thought capital layout was the best way to go. So we just gonna go to capital layout because it was more money than just trying to go by the law on that. We had the money, we didn't appropriate it, we just moved it.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yeah.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 2141, be enacted by the Quorum Court of Marion County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance amending the annual operating budget and numbers and compensation ordinance 21-4 for calendar year 2021 for Marion County, Arkansas. Article 1, whereas a direct deposit dated 5/10/21 for a grant has been received from the Arkansas Department of Financial and Administration for the local law enforcement block grant for the Marion County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $2,550, appropriating unappropriated money in the amount of $2,550 from 3572 local law enforcement block grant share fund as follows. 3572-400 local law enforcement block grant share to 3572-400 2003 small equipment 2550 add. Article 2, this ordinance herein is acted as an appropriation ordinance and therefore is effective immediately.
Motion to adopt.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? Anybody need to talk about this? Which grant is this, Miss Karen?
That's that local law enforcement block grant. That's for their flashlights and their jump boxes.
Anybody else need to talk about this?
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrima.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 2142, be enacted by the Quorum Court of Marion County, Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to amend the annual operating budget 21-4 for the calendar year 2021 for Marion County, Arkansas. Whereas the positions of comptroller and assistant comptroller and associated duties have been placed under the county judge's direction per ordinance 2119 and 2130, additional supplies and equipment are needed to perform these functions. New appropriation needs to be made from the county general fund, 1,000 to the judge's office budget, and new capital outlay items created in order to create line items for expenditures already made. Article 1, create a capital outlay line item for the purchase of a Carosia copier fax scanner SNRC 412-15672 and appropriate $8,500 unappropriated money as follows. 1,100 to 2001 general office, $2,317.50 add. 1,100 2002 small equipment, $2,465 add. 1,100 2024 contracted service supplies, $2,032.50 add. 1,100 4004 capital outlay, $1,685 add. Article 2, this ordinance herein enacted is an appropriation ordinance and therefore is effective immediately.
Motion.
You got a motion?
Second.
You got a second?
Who did the motion?
Fallon,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you then.
anybody need to talk about this one?
I don't believe that Rick White is just in the Peace District too.
He moved, I
Did
guess.
he? I guess he did.
We did send a corrected copy.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. It was right at the end of the day, probably.
It didn't get printed off.
No, it didn't get. Sorry.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman, Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is that all the ordinances that's done?
Yes.
I've got 2 appointments here to the Ray Valley Fire Department.
To what?
2 appointments to the Ray Valley Fire District. We got Tyler Garrison and David Humphrey.
I didn't hear the name, sir. I'm sorry.
Tyler Garrison and David Humphrey. All in favor for those to be on the Ray Valley Fire District?
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll welcome them on board. They're 2 good men. Anybody got anything good for the county?
I'm afraid to say.
I got a motion to adjourn. You got a second? All in favor? Out of here.
Remember, it's too long. One for the county.
Yeah, looks like ours.
Ours, that's why you're going up. Sheriff again. We don't have a contract. We don't have a contract. Otherwise, we have no.